These are some pictures that I've shot in the recent years that I usually upload on my Instagram, and my friends always say, yo, your pictures look so good, man. So I'm just gonna show my process of how I get these shots. Before we begin, let me talk about the reason why I think it's worth doing it. So the first reason is that you'll be able to capture your memories and your lifestyle in the best way possible. It's basically gonna act like a diary showcasing your life and your memories. And the second reason is that if you have a clean profile, you can use it to build connections and make friends. Unfortunately, I hate to say it, but we live in a day and age where everything is literally online. So you could be the best person at doing something, but if you're not online, no one knows. So yeah, let me talk about the stuff that I think you need. So a phone camera with a good camera, which is most new phones nowadays, that can shoot raw, or a DSLR or a mirrorless camera that can shoot raw. So the reason I said you need a camera that can shoot raw is because in post-production you can adjust the color balance and you can adjust how the colors in the final pictures will look. So basically you get all the colors in it without compression. That's the reason why I need to shoot raw. And then the second thing you need is some sort of image processing software. So in my case, I actually use Adobe Photoshop. So you can find an alternative, or you can use Photoshop. To be honest, yeah, even though I've been using Photoshop for years, I don't know if I was starting out, I'd actually use it because it's just so expensive nowadays. Unfortunately, everyone switched to the software as a service model, which is so fucking annoying. If you're doing videos, I actually use Premiere Pro, but any video editing software will do the job really. Basically, to start off my process, what I usually do is, let's say if I'm traveling somewhere, let's say if I'm going to Norway and I need some ideas of what pictures or what compositions I need. First thing I usually do is go on Instagram, type in my location. I went to Tromsø, so Tromsø, Norway. Have a look, scroll through the pictures, see the best ones that you like. Look at what angle the pictures was taken, what's the background looking like. Basically have a look at the pictures and see the ones that you like and what you like about them. So maybe it might be the contrast between the person's outfit and the white snow in the background. It might be the angle, it might be the sunset. So just save them pictures, and then what happens is when you go out, you have already an idea what you're going to shoot, because you don't want to just go out, no idea what you're doing, and you're just pointing. Sometimes you might get lucky and get 6 shots, but I think the best thing to do is go out with an idea. Basically, take the inspiration that you've seen on Instagram or Pinterest or wherever you found your inspiration, shoot, but make sure that you add your twist to it, because you don't want to just copy one to one. Another thing as well is you need to think a lot about your background. Example, this video I'm shooting here, before I started recording, I've set up, like, you can see that light in the back. I've put this thing on the TV and it just makes it more interesting. The third thing you need to do is you need to make sure that you've got yourself the best way that you can, so you're feeling the best about yourself. So example, if you know your self-esteem is not there because you've not had a haircut, best thing to do is make sure you clean shaved, beard shaved, so at least you feel good about yourself. Secondly, you need to get in shape, because once you get in shape, you're just confident, and when you're confident, you're more likely to take pictures, talk to the camera, and so on. Like, if you're not confident about yourself, it's unlikely that you go ahead with any of this. If you want some tips on how to get in shape, I'm gonna leave this video that I recently did on my abs workout. I know it's only one part of getting in shape, but I think you will benefit from it. So another tip I would give is go out and go to cool places. Example, yeah, I'm in my bedroom right now, fam. If I see some good compositions and I try them in my bedroom, it doesn't matter how much effort I put in, it cannot look as good as me somewhere in the mountains with snow and northern lights, and do you know what I mean? So obviously you don't have to go extreme and go to expensive places just to get some 6 shots, but just incorporate it with your life. So let's say it's weekend and you're going to London with the guys and you're at the Shard with nice views and so on. Make sure you get some shots while you're there, because it adds to it. Another thing I think does really well nowadays is photo dumps. If you go somewhere, you take a series of pictures. In my opinion anyway, the best ones that I've seen are the ones that tell a story. When you're scrolling through, it tells you where the person is, activities they're doing, food, who they're with. I'll leave on the screen some photo dump ideas. So I've just put together an ebook containing photo dump ideas, composition cheat sheet, raw files, sample images in case you want to follow along and practice with raw files. Just check the link in the description, it'll be the first one. You can put in all this effort, but if your lighting is not that good, then it kind of ruins it. So what I'd say for lighting, in my opinion, is better to shoot outdoors with natural lighting than indoors with artificial lighting. So obviously when you're shooting outdoors, if it's a sunny day, personally I'd avoid like midday sun where the sun is right above you and it's casting a shadow on you and it gives you that shadow under your eyes. I'd rather do it sunrise, but usually it's too early for me. I don't want to do that. Or my favorite is later on during the day, so like after like 3 o'clock when the sun is not too much in your face where you have to squint. When the sun is usually less harsh, it gives you that proper nice glow. But obviously if you're shooting on a cloudy day, none of this will matter. Let's look at the ideas for these pictures. Then we'll go to the editing process. First thing first, what you want to do is make sure that you've turned off any like color adjustments on your screen. So I'm gonna turn off night shift now. So basically what you see on the screen is gonna be what you get, because you don't want to be editing with like a yellow tint on your screen and then your final output, if it's not being viewed on the monitor, the yellow thing, you've basically done the wrong thing. So yeah, turn that off. So these are the JPEG, so these are not the raw files. So if you don't shoot in raw, basically what comes out of the camera, you get it how you get it. So in my case, if I didn't shoot in raw, these pictures will be exactly like this. I can't go and change the color temperature or the white balance. That's the reason why I need to shoot in raw. I've just opened the pictures in Photoshop and you can see these are the raw images, so no editing has been done to them. You can see it looks pretty dark. So what I usually do first thing is I go into optics and then I do the lens correction. So basically every lens is round, so what happens is there is a bit of like vignetting where you get like dark corners, and then there's a bit of like distortion because the lens is round, so there's gonna be a bit of bend around it. So I apply the lens correction for my particular lens now. So bam, you can see it removes this, it removes the dark corners here. Take this one, that removes, I don't know how to say that, chromatic aberration. So that's basically, usually they would be like purple around the edges. Yeah, basically Photoshop explains it here. So yeah, I usually do that. You can't really see it from far, but it helps. And then the next thing I do is I go onto color. So currently my white balance, which is what I was talking about before, is set to as shot. So let me see what auto looks like. Auto is not bad actually. Auto, oh yeah, I think auto is the best. It brings out the colors more. As shot looks a bit blue. Let me see that. Daylight, cloudy. Okay, so you can see this one looks the best. So reason why you want to shoot it raw. So auto, and then for this one I usually just go bam, and then you can see Photoshop has done its thing. I usually just start with auto and then obviously I'll go in and adjust. So basically this red here what it's telling me is that the highlights have been blown out. So basically that means it's pure white and there's no information. So what I'm going to do is I'll bring the exposure down a little bit and you can see it disappearing. But to be honest, I think this one looks clean. So that's what I'll do for this one. And then we go to the picture of me on the snowmobile. So what I'll do for this one is same thing, bam bam, and then let me see what gives me. Okay, so yeah, that looks pretty clean, to be fair. So that's how I'd keep this one. As you can see, I don't really like putting filters and stuff on it because I think it ruins it. So I like to keep it, I like to keep the pictures as natural as like how it looks basically. So same thing on this one with the dogs. Yeah, so auto again. Let me see, let me go check the white balance. Nah, that looks too warm for my liking. Okay, daylight, a shot. I mean, there's no right or wrong, it's just whichever one looks best for your eyes or how you like it really. So this one I'll probably keep it like this. Looks clean. Now what I'm gonna do is, after you've done your color corrections and so on, what you need to do is go in and then obviously clean up the pictures. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open that. This one, I'll be honest with you, I'm not going to remove anything because I think it looks pretty clean. This one, on the other hand, I need to do a bit cleanup. So obviously I need to remove this person in the back because it is basically distracting it. So what I do first things is I duplicate it, bam. So I've always got a fresh one if I need to go back to it. And then I'm going to zoom into this person, and then all you need to do is just do a rough, it doesn't need to be perfect, you just do a rough selection of the person. So bam bam bam, and then there's loads of different ways of removing, so whichever is your preference. I like to go on to edit, contour aware fill. Okay, so basically everything in green is what Photoshop is sampling to remove the person. So obviously I don't want it to sample these branches on here, so deselect that, and then I'll select some snow, and then on the right you can see the final output. I think it looks pretty good, man. You need to understand that, like, no one's gonna be viewing it bare zoomed in, so I think that looks all right, to be fair. And obviously it puts it on a new layer for you, which is helpful because you can go back and adjust if you don't like it. Now select that layer again, and I'm just gonna remove that. I'm gonna use a different method now. I'm just gonna remove that. So just highlight it, bam, it's gone. You can see the picture is already looking nice and clean. This one I'm just gonna save it like that because that looks clean as well. And then this one, just gonna save it as that. So that's it, that's literally the process, fam. Obviously I would save them, yeah, just send them to your phone and upload them on social media or whatever you want to do. One tip I would give though is that obviously you need to make sure that whichever way you're sending it, don't send it through like WhatsApp or Snapchat or Instagram or something, because it's gonna compress it. And obviously I know that Instagram compresses it, but you want to start off with a high quality image, and then obviously they'll compress it anyway, but you still want to start with a high quality image, and you still want the high quality images on your phone. So the best tip I'd give is that obviously if you're on a Mac like me, nice and easy, click and drag it into your photos, and then if you've got iCloud it will appear on your phone, or AirDrop. But if you're not on a Mac, then go buy a Mac. No, I'm joking. I've got Windows as well and a Mac, so I like to use both. But I think the reason why I like doing my editing on a Mac is because you can just send it easily and so on. But yeah, if you're not on a Mac, then maybe use Google Drive or Dropbox. So basically how you can check to see if it's not being compressed is that if you go on the picture and you go on get info, so basically the size here we can see is 90 megabytes. You want to make sure that when you send it on your phone or wherever you send it on, when you download it, you want to make sure that it's still the same size. Finally, a few things I want to talk about. Make sure that you're not getting sucked into social media and giving these people all your attention and your time, because you need to understand that's how Mark Zuckerberg and all these people get rich. They get rich off your attention, so use it with your head. Secondly, do not chase followers or likes. Do not chase followers or likes, because that's not what it's about. Thirdly, is quality over quantity. Like, I'd rather have 6 solid shots than 20 average looking ones. So yeah, that's it. If you want to watch the full video from the trip, I'll leave it in the end. Any tips that you have, let me know. I will leave some links in the description, so make sure you check them out. G.